What's happening, everybody? I'm Todd Tanner. This is Wrestling News Now. This has nothing to do with wrestling, but it has everything to do with sports. So let's get right down to this story. The saga of WNBA star Brittany Griner continues, according to an article I found, news.yahoo.com. Quote, U.S. basketball star Griner admits Russian drugs charge but denies intent. Quote, U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner pleaded guilty to a drugs charge in a Russian court on Thursday, but denies she had intentionally broken the law. Griner was speaking at the second hearing of her trial on the narcotics charge that carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, days after she urged U.S. President Joe Biden to secure her release. I'd like to plead guilty, Your Honor, but there was no intent. I didn't want to break the law, Griner said, speaking quietly in English, which was then translated into Russian for the court. I'd like to give my testimony later. I need time to prepare, she added. The next court hearing was scheduled for July 14. Griner's lawyers told reporters they were hoping for the most lenient sentencing possible. We, as her defense, explained to her the possible consequences. Brittany stressed that she committed the crime out of carelessness, getting ready to board a plane to Russia in a hurry, not intending to break Russian law, said Maria Blagovalina, one of Griner's attainers. We certainly hope this circumstance, in combination with the defense evidence, will be taken into account while passing the sentence, and it will be mild. Griner, a two-time Olympic gold medalist, was detained in February at Moscow's, pardon the translation I try to bring here, it may not be perfect, at Sheremetyevo Airport with vape cartridges containing hashish oil, which is illegal in Russia, and has been kept in custody since. The WNBA's Players Association released a statement reiterating its support for the 8-time All-Star. What we do know is that the U.S. State Department determined that Brittany Griner was wrongfully detained for a reason and will continue negotiating for her release, said the WNBPA. In a handwritten note, Griner appealed to Biden directly earlier this week to step up U.S. efforts to bring her home. I realize you are dealing with so much, but please don't forget about me and the other American detainees, Griner wrote. Please do all you can to bring us home. Biden spoke to Griner's wife on Wednesday, telling her he was working to have her released as soon as possible, the White House said. Officials from the U.S. Embassy in Moscow attended Griner's trial and delivered a letter to her from Biden, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said. We will not relent until Brittany, Paul Whelan, and all other wrongfully detained Americans are reunited with their loved ones, he tweeted, referring to former U.S. Marine Whelan, who has been imprisoned in Russia since 2018 on espionage charges. U.S. officials and many athletes have called for the release of Griner. U.S. officials, as I said, and many athletes have called for the release of Griner, or Big G as she is known to basketball fans, who they say has been wrongfully detained. Her case has also prompted concerns that Moscow could use it as leverage to negotiate the release of a high-profile Russian citizen in U.S. custody. Griner, a century for the Phoenix Mercury in the Women's National Basketball Association, had played for UMMC Katynburg in the Russian Women's Basketball Premier League to boost her income during the WNBA's off-season like several other U.S. players. Russian authorities say there is no basis to consider Griner's detention illegal, and that the case against her is not political despite Moscow's fraught relations with the United States over the Russian military intervention in Ukraine. Moscow's Deputy Foreign Minister, Sergei Ryabkov, said on Thursday that it was difficult to exchange prisoners with the United States and suggested Washington stop talking about the fate of Griner. Asked about Yapkov's remarks, the State Department said it would not comment or on speculation. Using the practice of wrongful detention as a bargaining chip represents a threat to the safety of everyone traveling, working, and living abroad. The United States opposes this practice everywhere, a State Department spokesman said. The Russian Foreign Ministry has said Griner could appeal her sentence or apply for clemency once a verdict has been delivered. On a personal note, to all you athletes out there, be extremely careful when you are traveling to other countries. Get with your attorneys, know the laws before you board that plane. And for God's sakes, stay out of trouble. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.